What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is and we are the Vertcoin Core. Today is February 15th, 2023. Do be sure to smash the like, leave a comment below, and of course subscribe if you haven't done so already. Market cap 11 million, volume 109,000, circulating supplies 66,120,000 Vertcoin. Currently, the price is 17 cents, 715 Satoshis against a Bitcoin value of 24,289 eggs, roughly. Ducking into the charts here against USD, there really isn't much to say. I did go ahead and outline this ascending channel and the subsequent descending channel, but there really isn't much to be said here. We're moving away from this local bottom here at about 13 cents, but we did have low that was lower than that in the middle of last year here at about 11 cents. So if we do proceed upward here, I guess this would technically have been the bottom here in June of last year, and this would be a higher low here at about 13 cents. So we could see this channel here continue. I'm not going to speculate too much on what could happen. There's way too much going on in the economy and the markets right now to really say this is what I think is going to happen right now. Against BTC here, pretty much the same thing. A bottom in May, pretty much higher lows ever since. This trend may continue. Hopefully it doesn't break down and we get some higher price action. As I'm sure you can tell, I don't want to spend too much time on these charts. See, the purpose of this video isn't to shake up the tea leaves and try to derive a bullish outlook based on lines and crosses, but rather to look at the broader cryptocurrency space, where and when we are within it, and investigate some of the emerging conditions that could very well be setting the stage for Vertcoin's imminent moonshot. But first, I left you guys on the AAX cliffhanger for far too long, so let us close out that chapter, breathe a sigh of relief that no community members were harmed in the making of that disaster, and move on with our lives. Hong Kong police arrested 2 executives of the crypto exchange AAX accused of fraud and misleading the police, according to local media reports. Weigao Capital CEO Yang Aoming and former AAX CEO Thor Chan were arrested on December 23rd. Local authorities accused them of claiming there was system maintenance as an excuse to delay customers from withdrawing assets amid liquidity issues. One of the executives also allegedly lied to the police about the timeline of his activities in the company, deliberately misleading law enforcement. 2 bank accounts of AAX as well as the executive's bank accounts and properties have been frozen. A third executive reportedly fled overseas with an AAX wallet and private keys that police believe contain around $30 million in digital assets. His properties in Hong Kong were seized by the police. As part of the investigation, Hong Kong authorities are working closely with overseas investigators to trace the funds. The Hong Kong-based platform has been shut down since mid-November for system maintenance, leaving 2 million registered users without access to their funds. Since then, local police have received over 337 reports from victims in China, Taiwan, Italy, and France. Withdrawals were halted by AAX on November 14th, citing a glitch in the exchange's system upgrade. The company assured the community that the withdrawal halt had nothing to do with the collapse of crypto exchange FTX, as rumors suggested. A few weeks later, AAX's vice president for global marketing and communications announced his resignation. Ben Castellan confirmed on Twitter that he had left the crypto exchange, stating that despite his efforts to fight for the community, the initiatives he proposed were not accepted. He described his communications role as hollow. So yeah, I'm really glad that the community decided not to pursue this listing. I know I was saying in that video that I thought maybe we should do it based on the risk to reward potential, but I was also very skeptical about trying to get listed on any exchange amid the FTX fallout. I ended up finding out right after I posted that video that we were suspending that campaign until withdrawals were resumed, so I changed the description of that video to reflect that we definitely weren't doing that, and I sincerely hope that not one single VTC was lost at the hands of these crooks. Around that time, however, we did end up getting listed on DigiFinex, but we've seen very little volume coming from that exchange so far. I'm here on CoinMarketCap under Markets, where you can see all of the exchanges that we're currently listed on. Here's Changely, HitBTC. It's worth noting that Bitvavo is leading the charge with 81% of the volume, and that's VTC against the euro. which is unsurprising since I ended up finding out a while back that most of the channel's viewership is in the Netherlands. Hello, Netherlands. Now we get into the good stuff. The question is, Wen Moon. To answer that, we'll start here, looking back at the two previous major bull runs, 2017 and 2021. In 2017, we saw Vertcoin explode from 2 cents to well over $10, an increase of 50,000% or 500x. Meanwhile, Bitcoin would climb from $500 to its high of the cycle of 20,000, an increase of 4,000% or 40x. There would be no comparison. It didn't even come close to Vertcoin's gains of 50,000% and 500x. After the crash in the subsequent 3-year bear market, Vertcoin found a floor at 15 cents. At that time, we were still very much in the grip of a bear market when Bitcoin started to rally in the last 3 months of the year, going from $10,000 to its previous all-time high of 20,000. Altcoin holders began to tremble with anticipation for what would surely be an amazing alt season, when the momentum was piggybacked and hijacked with the tweeting of one word: Doge. And thus began the great meme coin run of 2021. From Cumrocket to Wolverine, Dogelon Mars, and Pepe Cash, this massive pile of shit burned so brightly that recklessly yeeting your stimulus dollars into the most nonsensical scam you could find became the new way to invest. That, along with countless NFTs, yield farming scams, and virtual sandwiches, ensured that all that new ignorant money would never make its way to the true hidden gems of the cryptocurrency space. Being the king of the castle, Bitcoin managed to push its way to new all-time highs of nearly 70,000 from the recent bottom of $4,000 in March of 2020, cementing an increase of 1,700% or 17x, leaving Vertcoin to reach only $2, failing to make any significant headway toward its previous all-time high. However, while Bitcoin obliterated its all-time high from its recent low, Vertcoin quietly and disappointingly managed to put up almost the exact same percentage gains. With all those distractions and all that dumb money going all those different places, and Bitcoin sitting atop its mountain of glory, you would have made about the same amount of money holding Vertcoin as you would have holding Bitcoin in that same time frame, despite their disproportionate relation to their previous all-time highs. So why should we believe that the future will be any different? What reason do we have to believe that Vertcoin might surpass its all-time high? In a word, regulation. Now, I don't mean to sound like a Gary Gensler admirer here. You know I did a video on him before, but I think he gets more hate than necessary, and it's because he's going after all the dumb money plays. Not to say that I agree with the Ripple lawsuit 100%, but if by suing Ripple, one of the most regulatory compliant crypto companies out there, we can start to establish some clarity and decide what is and isn't legal, we can start to thwart the upcropping of some of these more frivolous and scammy investment vehicles. Crypto has been the Wild West, an absolute free-for-all, and it was that lack of regulation that allowed all the nonsense that occurred in 2021 to take place. And of course, you already know that Vertcoin has nothing to fear from the SEC because it's nothing even resembling a security. It's a digital commodity, exactly like Bitcoin. And if there's one thing I think we can rest assured that the government won't do, it's go after Bitcoin, especially now that they're Bitcoin's largest whale, holding over 1% of the total supply. All that Bitcoin the government is holding could prove beneficial as the dollar appears to be on the precipice of losing its status as the global reserve currency. So now I ask you, in a space largely fostered to maturity by cypherpunks, do you really see a future in which a true proof-of-work cryptocurrency, a digital commodity mined by the people and majority held by neither the government or the richest man in the world, isn't wildly successful? Neither do I. Hodl. I'll see you in the next one. Vertcoin Core,